Welcome to Monday All Weekend, everybody. We're here to talk about the news around the movies, the things that are relevant anyway,
Yeah,
right? And stuff that we want to talk about and enjoy in TV shows, in movies,
sure.
news that we find relevant and are interested in. How are you fellas doing this evening?
Doing all right.
Perfectly normal.
Yep, perfectly
Perfectly
normal.
normal.
As
Again,
you look at Josh wrapped in his blanket, I'm perfectly normal.
I swear.
There's nothing wrong with me.
To have a to have a cold or whatever you got in the middle of summer is just weak sauce, bro. It's
Is
weak
it?
sauce.
Hey, everybody's gotten it. I mean, I haven't,
Oh,
but
Right.
I
All right.
forgot to take my vitamins.
So what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about some of the news around the Avengers announcement, especially Robert Downey junior
Uh-huh.
coming back to Marvel
Come on, Robert.
and not as the beloved Iron Man character. We're also going to be looking at a little bit of a leaked photo from The Chosen season 5 that the director
I wouldn't call it
leaked.
leaked.
It's leaked.
It's leaked if the director and the creator of the show puts it out. Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he,
I'm gonna tease something before we get into the Avengers stuff. What they
Okay.
said about Robert before he came on stage and they announced it is wild. I don't know if you have that in the video, but it's wild.
Yeah, and we are going to be talking about that first, and we'll talk about The Chosen second. But we will watch the video of the announcement with Robert Downey Jr. We'll react to it. But before we get to that, I wanted to just go through, if you guys don't mind, some of the changes that they're announcing or the upcoming stuff, right? And Wyatt, you pulled up the article. Do you wanna run through this for us?
yeah, I'm just gonna read really quick.
Okay.
Kind of what the article has to say.
Everything announced at Marvel's.
Yeah. So at the San Diego Comic-Con, they announced the Russo brothers returning for the Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. It's looking like they were gonna do like a Secret Wars part 1 and 2 or something.
Right.
The original plan. And then or no, it was Kang Dynasty.
It was going to be the Kang Dynasty.
And so they've scrapped that
because they had a major fail on that.
Yeah. Major.
That was pretty good.
He's always on top of it. Anyway, yeah, so Russo brothers are returning. For those of you who don't know, they directed Civil War and the previous Avengers movies.
So pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff, right?
Pretty okay stuff, yeah.
I do have a question about this.
Yeah.
What do you guys think when it comes to this sort of announcement? It's like, we don't know what to do. We're hemorrhaging money. All of our directors on the previous projects have sucked.
Nobody likes our Disney Plus content.
Right. We're bringing back these guys.
Look, I honestly, I don't think it's necessarily the best choice, but it's the best one they have right now.
I think the name recognition is the best they can do.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you guys seem to like these guys when they directed Marvel movies. So maybe if we bring them back, you guys will be happy.
Maybe.
That's classic Marvel. And so it really goes down to, are they going to let them do what they want? Or is the studio going to change a bunch of stuff once they get into, are they going to be like Sleepy Joe and just be the face of
a puppet?
Or
no, that's absolutely a concern. But I think this is a positive step. People have been saying this stuff for years. It's like, bring back things that we like, characters we like, actors we like, directors we like. And it's very
to an extent though.
No, I think a big extent. And they're making an effort here.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
To a big extent.
I think this is
confused by what you said there.
It's not just I don't think people are asking that to some extent. It's like, yeah, we could use some of the previous stuff. I think people are like begging for it. Like, we don't want this trash you're putting out.
Yeah, but I mean, like, are we? I really badly want to talk about Robert, but I don't know if we're there yet. Are we there?
We're getting there.
Okay.
What I'm saying is
this is part of what we're talking.
Robert's part of this. Robert's part of this. Bringing in old directors, old faces is they're reacting to fans. They're trying desperately to make fans happy.
Do you think this is what Bob Iger was talking about in all those interviews where he's like, "We're going to pivot. We're going to pivot.
Pivot. This is got to pivot.
We're going to take a step backwards, reconsider things, and then maybe we'll get it right." I don't know.
How much do you think they had to pay Robert to come back? A lot?
Who knows? Let's go ahead.
The rest of their money.
Probably. Because he was known for the last Iron Man thing he did, like, to be paid as like the most paid actor of that year with playing Iron Man.
Let's react to this announcement.
I think so this announcement with Robert coming back, I think, is them admitting fault and not admitting fault. Because they're like, obviously we're not going to bring him back as Iron Man.
He's dead.
We ended that.
Sure.
But we have to bring him back.
Right.
Yeah.
So the next announcement, you know, the Russo brothers came on stage. They pulled in a bunch of Dr. Dooms.
Right.
And did the thing. I think we have a video for that.
Now, listen, if we're gonna bring Victor Von Doom to the screen, and he is one of the more complex characters in all of comics, right, Kevin? I mean, this is potentially one of.
Do you guys know Dr. Doom very well?
Yeah, he's the bad guy of the Fantastic Four. He's really powerful and insane and scary.
Yeah. All right.
One of the more entertaining characters in all of fiction. If we're gonna do this, if we're gonna bring him to movie theaters worldwide, then I think we're gonna need the greatest actor in the world.
The greatest actor in the world. That's a huge statement.
Or Jack Black comes out.
I mean, Jack Black's pretty good. You can't deny.
Jack Black comes out, the greatest actor in the world. What do you think the audience was thinking at this moment? The greatest actor in the world?
I think the audience probably kind of figured what they were going to do.
Someone said something. You can hear in the audience, they were like, they said, someone yelled, "Jared Leto?" And I'm like, all right. Like, some if you
joker.
Just listen.
Some joker in the crowd.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, as proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
All right. The one person.
One person, one man. Pretty epic. I ain't gonna lie. That's pretty cool.
Entrance, but
oh my gosh,
that's Robert.
He
puts on the he puts on the Iron Man glasses.
Oh my God. He's so good at Tony Stark.
Yeah, he puts on the Tony Stark.
What's he say? I haven't actually seen what he says.
All right.
New mask. Same task. What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
People
are happy to see him. People are happy to see him.
Same task.
What do you guys? Are you interested in seeing him take on the role of the villain?
Here's the thing.
I'm interested, but he's already played the most perfect character for Robert, and so why are they bringing him back? And I know they're going to do some sort of thing. Oh, it's a different universe, different timeline type thing, but that's dumb. There's so many good actors. I don't know.
Hold on, Joshua. It's not all that bad. Here's the thing. I am interested to see. I am a slight bit worried because there's a common thread here in Marvel and Star Wars of saying we're going to cast characters that you love, but they're going to be side characters. I mean,
Yeah.
they're literally not even going. The title is going to be their name, and they're going to play a side role in their own movie. You know what I mean?
I don't think that. I think they have to make this work. I think they have to make the Fantastic Four. They kind of have to reboot some of Marvel here, starting with the Fantastic
Oh, yeah.
Four.
They have to do something with Marvel.
So Paul says, "Let the man rest. He did his due diligence with Marvel." Well,
I
they
mean,
need him.
He had a lot of money.
They
with
need
Marvel,
him.
too.
They literally need him.
I guess my thought is, I know what Robert can do as Iron Man, as Tony Stark. He's very, he's that guy, right?
Mhm.
What about Von Doom, who is, Sinister? We haven't seen RDJ play Sinister in a while.
Look, I like his Sinister. He's very versatile, and I know he kind of it's almost not. I don't even know if I've seen him play like very sinister, but
Yeah,
he's
what did
definitely
he play
played.
Sinister on?
Well, he's played a lot of the passive. What do you call it? The apathetic, right?
Mm.
And I don't know if Doctor Doom is apathetic. Anything comes to mind as far as like what you're gonna pull from?
No, Doctor Doom is intense, intelligent, foreboding, scary kind of
But
guy.
isn't he like super attractive kind
Eh.
of?
No, he's always
No?
in the mask. He's always in the mask.
Oh, is he in
In the comics? He's always in the mask.
Oh, always in the mask. Okay.
Yeah, he gets, his face gets messed up, so he's always in the mask.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
And I think since it is a mask character, he's always in the mask. I think it's okay to bring in, and we saw a little bit of foreboding from his performance in Oppenheimer, a little bit, right?
Mhm.
We saw his kind of cutthroat nature a little bit is his performance in Oppenheimer. But yeah, he has kind of always played somewhat of a good guy, somewhat of a redeemed character in some capacity.
Yeah, like
His
a quippy main character is what he plays.
His acting has always lent itself to be pretty quippy, pretty, his dialogue delivery is Robert Downey Jr. So I can't really see Victor Von Doom being like, "All right, guys, all right, Fantastic Four, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna tear you up. I'm the
gonna
smartest
tear you
guy in the
up."
universe, and I'm really gonna give it to you. I'm gonna suck it to you.
All right.
Bringing the party to you."
I love how we skipped over Paul's
Yeah,
moment. Danny DeVito
Come
playing
on.
in Marvel movies.
I'd watch a whole movie of that.
Danny DeVito.
And with AI, it's not too far out.
He could play a Marvel character, definitely, but I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know who he'd play in Marvel. He could definitely do it.
The Trash
Really good.
Man.
I mean, maybe.
Well, so with Robert Downey Jr., it's such a different character than Iron Man. It's such a different. He's literally the villain. He's going to be hiding his face, so we're not going to have the appearance issue. It'll just probably be the narration and the physical acting of things.
Yeah, isn't Robert short?
I don't know if that matters. Is Doctor
That
Doom
doesn't
supposed to be
matter
super
too much.
jacked?
I don't think he's going to be in a. He's
give me-
essentially going to be in an Iron Man style suit. That's the other thing about Victor Von Doom is his tech is beyond like Iron Man level.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's insanely powerful.
And that might be how they're gonna play it. They might say like, "Oh, in a different universe, Robert Downey Jr. became Iron Man, whatever Iron Man's character. I can't think of it at the moment.
Became Doctor Doom. Wouldn't that be
Became
kind of
Dr.
whack to
Doom.
do though? That would
Yeah,
be a
but they have
bad
to do
decision.
something.
They don't
I
have
would-
to do something.
I
They
would
could just
say
let him play
I
a
would say
different character.
keeping him as Victor Von
Ooh,
Doom.
Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
I just saw that picture.
Somebody
Cillian
was
Murphy as
theorizing
Dr.
that?
Doom. I like that. I like that.
think keeping him as Victor Von Doom, he just happens to look like the Tony Stark in a different universe
Stark,
is
yeah.
fine. But again, it's they need to bring something back. They need to get fans on board with something, and I feel like this is, in my opinion, kind of the lowest bar,
Mhm.
the lowest entry level, basic fan thing. The most basic Marvel fan is like, I see Robert Downey Jr., Marvel's back, baby.
Right.
Every
Sort
time.
of. I mean, sort of
Robert,
Marvel's back.
alright.
The jury's out, in my opinion.
I mean,
It's a
I feel
glimmer of
like
hope,
the
right?
the plebeian fans kind of say that every time a Marvel movie comes out. They're like, this one
Yes.
was incredible. Marvel's back, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
We're back, baby.
Look, there's a lot more hope for this than
Mhm.
freaking the witch, whatever her name
Who?
is. I can't remember her name. The
Oh,
witch,
Yeah,
the witch show
it
that's
doesn't
coming out.
matter. That's
Wanda.
why.
Oh.
The one that they just dropped for the Halloween season.
Yeah, let that
That
fail.
Look, that's gonna fail.
Like a
There's no
fart in the wind.
Yeah, there's a lot more hope for this and the directors, the
I don't
creators
know.
of this Avengers direction.
Mhm.
However, remember the Avengers they have to work with right now are predominantly all ladies.
Yeah.
Besides, of course, the new casting for the Fantastic Four, of course, right?
Yeah.
So there's other stuff that happened at Comic-Con. I think notably, what's his face? Harrison Ford came out. It
Yep.
doesn't mention it
Oh,
here,
yeah.
but he actually got out on stage and was doing Hulk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That
Sick.
dude did like nothing for Han Solo, for Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
How much did they pay him to get out there and do Hulk stuff?
Dude, they got the money.
I mean, he was like, yeah, whatever, Han Solo, yeah, whatever. But he's out there going, ah!
He's probably itching to play something new and do something exciting.
I think
One last, movie before.
I think he's happy that he doesn't really have to do much. He can kind of
Yeah.
totter around as the general, and then they CGI the Hulk. Red Hulk.
That's
Like,
true.
easy.
That's true.
Easy money, easy paycheck. He does a
kind
little
of
bit of
like
voice work.
the last
Mhm.
Clint Eastwood movie where he like hobbles around and then they switch to a stunt actor that's riding
Yeah,
a horse.
exactly. Yeah, that's what he'll hobble around as the general a little bit, and then he'll Hulk out, and it'll be all CG.
Well, the thing is, though, like Harrison Ford is believable that he can Hulk out, right? If you got one of these older actors who's
Yeah.
not really that fit, or just got a lot of the
I mean,
extra,
he
like,
showed it. He did show it. He did show
Yeah.
that he, was doing the
he
thing.
could do the thing. But what I'm saying is, like, if you get one of these older legacy actors with the name recognition like Harrison Ford has, they're all kind of pudgy. They're all old with good reason.
Mhm.
He's probably the only one in these legacy actors that I would be like, yeah, it's believable. I could see Harrison Ford as like an old man character hulking out into,
Yeah.
I
It's
could see it.
also super interesting. They recast General Ross, right? The previous actor passed away. They recast him with Harrison Ford. Didn't recast T'Challa,
Mm-hmm.
but they recast him. And a lot of people were actually saying that they would have liked to see him played by Sam Elliott, who played him in the Eric Bannon
This is
Hulk.
right. This is a good question though, since you brought it up. Is it the right move to not recast like they did with Black Panther, or do they recast and move it on?
Recast.
You
Yes.
you think recast
I
is
think
always the right
recast.
answer?
It's always the right answer.
Okay.
Because
No, not always.
they didn't recast Chadwick Boseman and kind of used his death to sell their
Yeah.
Black Panther movie.
Yeah, it was a
pretty-
terrible
Bad
movie.
Black Panther movie, dude.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the first 3 minutes of the movie was good because it was just a tribute to him, and then everything else was just bad.
And I even think that's kind of disgusting that they just he passed away in real life and they use that for emotion baiting in their movie. Yuck.
Yeah, and also box office money. You know what I mean? Also box office money. That's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Any other things of note in the announcements that were a big
There's
deal?
there was some footage. There was some other Marvel stuff. Not too much, I don't think. That was the big Marvel news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before we get to
Wait.
the next thing, I'm gonna excuse myself just for a second, okay?
Okay. Sidewinder. It says Captain America: Brave New World got an official villain. Is it Sidewinder? Is the
Yeah,
villain?
Sidewinder, played by Giancarlo Esposito.
What's Sidewinder? I don't know what that is.
Nobody. We're not comic nerds.
I'm just wondering if you happen to know, because you do know a lot of things, and a lot more things in this world than I know when it comes to comics.
I don't recognize the villain. Let's get a Hulk multiverse movie with Ruffalo, Bana, and
Norton.
That would be fun. And
I don't
Lou
know.
Ferrigno.
Dude, Ruffalo's Hulk, it kind of grosses me out now, if I'm being honest.
That's because he's a little pussy whipped boy.
It's it's because
he's a nothing character.
He's saying yes to She-Hulk. Like, no, refuse that. Like,
what the Hulks that they would need is Avengers Ruffalo Hulk. Right?
Yes.
Edward Norton Hulk and Banner. They're all
not
big.
Endgame Hulk though.
Not Endgame Hulk. They're all big. They're angry. They're scary.
Yeah,
dude, bring in Lou Ferrigno Hulk.
Yeah,
he's a little bit smaller than the other guys, but he can. I think he can hang with the big dogs.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift gears.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears.
Before we show this, it's kind of interesting that Dallas released this on top of all of the Last Supper stuff going on with the Olympics. It's kind of funny.
Well, listen to read his
caption. Kind of tongue in cheek.
Josh,
he posted this.
Well, you didn't do your research, did you? All right, so check out what he wrote in the caption. Dallas wrote, "Is this better than the Olympics imagery?" With a little sideways smiley face. So Dallas on Instagram,
much more diverse, I think.
He released a image of the Last Supper from season 5 and The Chosen, and what it's going to look like, what the set looks like, what the table looks like, what where everyone is sitting at the table.
Sick.
Very fascinating. You got Judas. You think they're going to have because you got Simon Peter all the way on the end on the right side, the furthest away from him. And I know Peter's going to have a big moment speaking to Jesus in the Last Supper scene, So it's why do you think you got Judas, and who is that? Is that, I'm trying to see who that is on these.
Is it not John?
Is that little? No, is that, maybe that's John.
Wouldn't it be John the Beloved? Isn't that who you
let me put up on my phone. I can tell you.
It's a cool looking pic, though.
I think that is John. Really cool. I believe that is John. Yeah, it looks like his head shape, sort of. It's very far away. Can I zoom in on this?
You can
enhance.
Yeah, you can.
It doesn't let me.
I don't. You
see.
Can if you're on Instagram. You can. Yes.
Okay.
Enhance.
All right. So.
Enhance.
Yeah, that's definitely John. And then, so you got Judas and John on either side, and Peter is all the way down here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Simon Peter. So, well, first off, I got to say, I do really enjoy the look of this. I think this is a really good look. I like the architecture. It's kind of a really fun little drop to remind people about season 5. It also gives us a very clear picture of where this is going, where season 5 is going. And it seems like it's following our predictions,
I don't want to be like a history snob, but wouldn't they be sitting on the floor?
I don't know.
That's
more. I mean,
anything about that specifically in the Bible?
I know. I know historically they would sit. They would lean. They would actually lay on pillows, and the table would be in front of them. Their legs would be facing that way, and they'd have sort of a pillow.
They've done that a lot in like the first season, I know for sure, around like Jesus and Mary when they were talking. I'm pretty sure they were doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, they maybe they pull out the nice tables for like a big supper like this, and for just like your basic house meals, they kind of, do it a little bit more cash,
Right.
floor cash. Um,
Floor cash.
I
Floor
just didn't know
cash.
if they're trying to evoke, some of the imagery from some of the old paintings here.
Okay,
They
so
might be.
so check this out. So in the Passion of the Christ for the Last Supper flashback scene, they had the floor seating table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the Passion of the Christ, they are sitting on the floor for the Last Supper scene, because there's a scene where during the crucifixion, there's a lot of flashbacks. There's a really long, beautiful speech that Jesus gives in the Passion of the Christ, and it's all in Latin. But it's it seems like in that film, this scene was they were sitting on the floor. So you're probably right. Historically, it might be floor seating.
From what I'm saying, just with some basic Google searches, back then, they would have been leaning on cushions, sitting on the floor. So my guess is that this is to elicit. Yes, thank
for
you.
real, Paul.
Thank
That's
you.
very specific. How did you learn that? Seminary.
Well,
I mean,
I can guess how he learned, but yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But I get it. I get why they're doing it this way.
Mhm.
It's to evoke a familiarity. People
Right.
watching this, probably the majority of people watching this are in America. They're familiar with gatherings around the table.
And they don't lay down on their left side and eat with their right arm.
Right.
yeah, I mean,
It's a
and
bit
Dallas
foreign.
is known for, just kind of making you feel like you can relate to these.
Yeah,
disciples,
that's
the followers of
important,
Christ.
but I mean, still the history buff in me is kind of like, well, actually, I don't think they would be sitting at a table.
You're a nerd
Yeah,
and a
sorry.
stickler.
Nerd.
Sorry, I like history stuffs.
Like history stuffs. Well, I'm sure they have portrayed that exact thing with I believe with the laying on the left side using their right arm. They just chose not to do that for the Last Supper for who knows what reasons. I would say honestly, with all the camera placements, with all of the reaction shots that this scene's going to require, for production reasons, I would want them to be sitting down. You know what I mean?
On the table.
For production reasons,
Yeah.
it would be so
Wait.
difficult to be like, everyone needs to lay down. All of you have to lay down and do it this specific way, right? Because then you have to have a huge room, and then it becomes like, okay, but they were in the upper stairs, right? Of the Last Supper was in the upstairs of some room, right? The upper room. They're in some building in Jerusalem. So then you're like, okay, in order to get the production going well and looking good, it needs to be have plenty of space to move around. If everyone's laying out, they're taking up a lot of floor space. Yeah, this for production reasons, I would want this setup, because not only is this good visually with the U shape or the U-shaped tables, but also for all the reaction shots, you can go behind, you can go in front, you can do everything. You have complete versatility for camera placement, right? So this just makes sense for production in my mind.
Yeah.
Production reasons.
Yeah, I would agree. It's
everybody
it's
laying on the
really
floor
interesting.
feels chaos.
But like when you have stuff like, I didn't see the show, so did they show the woman washing Jesus' feet?
Yes.
How did that play out? Were they laying on the floor?
At that moment, no, they weren't. They were not laying on the floor for that scene. So they actually combined it with, they combined that scene with the. I don't even know if this is. I don't think this is a biblical account, but they've been building up this one character who was hardened toward Jesus, and then his heart was getting softer towards Jesus. The character of Shmuel, and it was at this point where Shmuel's heart gets hardened again towards Jesus. I'm assuming not to be recovered, right?
Okay.
And they combined it with the woman who anoints Jesus's feet
Mhm.
and dries it with her hair is actually Lazarus's sister in the show.
Okay.
So it wasn't a random lady. It was
Mhm.
was it Miriam? Is that one of his
Yeah.
sisters? The one who pays attention to his teachings.
That's Mary
sister.
Magdalene.
Mary
Yeah.
Magdalene.
Yeah, who is it's not the same person in the
Mary
Bible.
Magdalene?
They never say it's the same person in the Bible.
No, Mary Magdalene's not the one who's Lazarus' sister who pays attention during the teaching.
That's Martha.
That's what I'm saying, Martha.
Yeah, but in the Bible, it's Mary Magdalene who's paying attention.
But Mary Magdalene is not. I thought Mary Magdalene was the Mary who got the demons casted out of her.
I mean, I think so.
No, there was
It's not
there
the
was
same
two
Mary.
different- No, yeah, 2 different Marys. There was quite a few Marys.
Yeah, there's probably a couple Marys, but
Where'd Paul go?
I don't think the woman who cleans his feet was a Mary, even though I've heard
No,
that.
it was.
I don't
Even
think
though
in the
I've heard
Bible.
that preached.
I don't think in the Bible the woman has a name.
Yeah. But like my point being, historically, they would have just been like there at the table, like
Mhm.
leaning on their side, talking, and then all of a sudden he feels like some lady down at his feet washing.
Mhm. But
You're
that
just eating your food.
just
And
eating.
he's like,
Well, the
he's
thing
like,
is,
oh,
the interesting thing about that scene is the way they filmed it in season 4 and it played out was it wasn't casually eating food. It was they were eating food and then tensions were building and then she comes in and washes her feet and then tensions are skyrocketed. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
I mean, speaking of tensions, what a great time to drop this photo.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. He probably
Really,
didn't
really
intend to do
great.
this.
I mean,
assuming he
probably
didn't
not.
intend.
He probably intended to drop the photo at some point, you know,
Mhm.
just considering that we're getting pretty close. But with that, what happened at the Olympics? I mean, great. What an
Great time.
opportune time.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely jumped on the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And if I might say so, pretty brilliant marketing.
Yeah.
with the conversation there.
Yeah.
There were 2 different instances of foot cleaning. They're very similar. One with Mary and
Okay.
one with the woman in
Of
ill repute. That was her name. Ill first name, repute last name.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
No, that's where she was from, was ill repute.
Yeah, Mary of ill repute.
A woman of that woman from ill repute.
But Mary, so the thing is, Mary Magdalene was the woman who had demons casted out of her. The
Mhm.
Yeah,
other
yeah.
woman who cleaned, the other Mary in the show was not Mary Magdalene in the show. It was Mary, the sister of Lazarus.
Okay.
Yes.
Mary
Gotcha.
Magdalene was one of the followers of Jesus after he casted out demons
Yeah.
from her.
Gotcha.
And it's what all the crazies and that one crazy film called Mary say that Jesus had a sexual relationship with Mary Magdalene. That's
Wrong.
not correct. However, yeah, Mary Magdalene wasn't the
Was there any other news that came out with this photo, or was he just
No.
dropping it for the Olympics thing?
dropping it for the
keep
Olympics
dropping
thing, man.
Nice.
And honestly, I think like I said, I don't think he would have. We are still so far away from
Yeah.
season
We have a
5.
while.
They have
Mhm.
literally I think they just started filming about 2 months ago, right?
I think
Yeah, they have-
I think even though it's so far out, it's really smart to drop this picture.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, they're independent. They got to keep the buzz going.
yeah, they got to keep
Mhm.
keep.
They
the
can't just
people talking
disappear.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as smart, and they're going to keep doing this stuff. I think it's just really good to capitalize on the trend and the outrage, right?
Mhm.
Because if you're doing a show about Jesus and the Olympics are blaspheming religious people and religious beliefs with disgusting display, then take advantage of that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
show what the Chosen's doing with the Last Supper. And that's pretty much all we got. That's a fun leak. The Marvel, for some reason, I haven't felt this in a long time. I'm not really feeling like optimistic,
Yeah.
but there's a little glimmer of light in there.
I
glimmer?
wouldn't be disappointed if Fantastic Four was good.
There's a
You wouldn't
glimmer
be
of
disappointed.
it
Depends
I can't say
on who
optimism, but
all they
a
picked
desire.
before.
All right. There's a desire of optimism there.
Mm.
I wouldn't say full optimism yet. So with that, let us know what you guys thought of the Marvel news, if anything stood out to you all, and also if you're a fan of The Chosen, how excited does this photo make you feel for season 5? Where the prediction is, I'm sticking with it. The prediction is season 5 ends with him getting arrested. Season 5 ends with him getting arrested. That's the end of season 5. So the season 5, I think, is just going to be the entire week in Jerusalem. Then he gets arrested.
It's raining
Yeah, it just started raining real hard here.
really hard.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave comments, tell us what you think. We'll see you guys next time on Monday all weekend. Wait,
podcast is back this weekend on Friday at noon. Podcast will be back.
Podcast is back.
So tune in for that.
All
Yeah,
season.
and then also next week and Monday all weekend.
Right.
Yes.
Later, everybody. We love you.